Yeah.
What about yourself needs fixing?
Well, I think the thing that always got to me before I discovered this has been, my work ethic on things that I necessarily didn't love to do. I had a tendency when I was younger, when something was getting hard, I would give up. And that's something that's really bothered me a lot. And that's something that I've learned about myself since I started doing this is, you know, whatever that I want to do, as long as my heart's in it and my mind's in it, I can do it, and I've really had to push myself doing this because the amount of requirements of, my time and my schedule and the time away from family and friends and loved ones has really been tremendous over the last 4 or 5 years of my life, and it's been a lot of sacrifice in that way. I was kind of lazy growing up. I think my parents would tell you that, and my friends would tell you that, and that's not something that I'm necessarily ashamed of. It's something that I've learned from, and something that has had a pretty profound impact on who I am today. I think it's part of growing up is learning what some of your flaws are and kind of addressing those things.
Who you are today, you said. Who are you today, Luke?
Well, I'd like to think I'm a regular guy. Really, I think my circumstances are different than a lot of people's. I've been lucky enough to have a lot of success and be in a way better financial situation than I would have ever imagined. But I'm a pretty down to earth guy. I still have pretty much all the same friends that I did when I started doing this. I write with all the same guys that I started writing with. I spend most of my time here at home with my fiance and our pets and working in the garden or taking care of our chickens and, going out and playing video games every once in a while. I mean, it's nothing special, and I think that is maybe the thing that draws people a little bit to me. There isn't this big gap between me and the guy in the front row. I'm just happen to be the guy on the other side of the microphone, like I really do feel like the same guy that I was 5 years ago. I'm just same guy, man.
Well, I know at least one way that you've changed, and that is you used to be, as a lot of people who sing and are around country music are, in fact, a lot of people, you were pretty heavy into dip,
Oh yeah.
and you stopped. Now,
Hmm.
the story goes is your fiance sort of put it to you, said, either you can have the dip or I'm out of here. Is that a true
Yeah,
story?
it was actually her. She had been begging me to quit for a long time, and I was just too stubborn to. And actually, it was when I asked her dad if I could marry her. He was the one that kind of gave me that ultimatum. I'm sure it was probably on her behalf a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it's been a great thing.
Did you experiment with the drugs when you were younger, as many young people do, particularly young men?
No, no. Luckily, I didn't. My parents did a good job of kind of talking me out of that, and I had some friends, growing up that kind of got into those things, and luckily, I was smart enough to kind of distance myself from that situation. It's just I'm a guy that I like to have control of my mind and of my thoughts, and so things like that tend to lead me down a road that I'm really not comfortable going down as far as I've had struggled with anxiety issues most of my life, and so um, anything that can kind of throw a wrench into that is really something that I'm not interested in.
I don't think I knew that. You said you've had trouble with anxiety issues in your life.
For sure, yeah, something that I always struggled with and always affected me. And the first time I can remember is probably middle school up to kind of the end of college, and I still have my moments for here and there, but it's something that I've learned about and something that I've been able to get a hold of. So it's been great to kind of felt free from those things for a long time now. So
Well, I would say, and that's no small accomplishment to overcome anxieties, and particularly when you have anxieties to the extent you can call them attacks. You said that you still have some echoes of that from time to time. Could you give an example? I mean, is it anxiety about a performance or something personal?
well, it's more so it's kind of like a unique form of OCD that I have. It's called purely obsessional OCD, which is like I know when you see people that have OCD, you think of them like messing with the blinds or straightening the carpet, or essentially my version of fixing the blinds or straightening the carpet are kind of thoughts that I play over and over in my head. You know, like for example, it kind of comes in waves. Like it'll be something about my health. Like I'll be worried that I'm having, I'll be worried that I'm about to have a heart attack or a stroke, and it's like it becomes like this very obsessive thing that you literally can never have an answer to. And so that's kind of the awful part of it, is that you really have to be comfortable. You have to teach yourself to becoming comfortable with the fact that you'll never get an answer and that it is a super uncertain thing. And so that's what I particularly have struggled with. And so sometimes that's tough, but it's something that you learn about yourself, and arming yourself with the knowledge of exactly what's going on is the most important thing I've found.
Well, Luke, as you were describing that, and I appreciate your discussing it, and I think the audience will appreciate you being open about it, being candid about it. But you're in a place now, man, every day you are inhaling super NASA-grade rocket fuel for the ego.
Sure.
How do you keep that in perspective? There's a real danger that you will get so arrogant and so conceited within yourself that you'll lose yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that I've, from day one, have always tried to keep in check, and I think that starts with the people around you. But number one, my fiance is the best person in the world for keeping me in check. She makes fun of me all the time, which is really great. That's really great for me. I need that. But then I have, I'm still really great friends with all of my best friends from high school, a bunch of my good friends from college, and all of my friends that I kind of hang out with here in Nashville are, my buddies that I wrote songs with 5 or 6 years ago, that none of us had publishing deals or record deals or any money in our bank accounts. And I really do believe that I'm, in no way different or better than anyone else. I'm not smarter than anyone else because I'm successful. I'm not better than anyone else or more worthy of anything than anyone else because I'm rich or famous or noteworthy or have the ability to reach out to whoever I want to. You can certainly use those things to your advantage, but you don't have to use those things to feed your own mind, to feed your own need to be successful. I spend a lot of my time, like I said, at home, cleaning out the chicken coop, tending to the garden, going hunting, doing things that folks do. I don't dwell on the fact that, I'm a country singer and then I've won all these awards or had #1 songs. I try to use it for good as much as I can, but it's not where I derive my self-worth from.